Hello and welcome to my channel, Shanna Makes It. I'm Shanna, and tonight's project we are going to be recreating some things that I did earlier today. I watched the SBC Fast by scrapbook.com earlier today, and I was inspired to make some things. They had a card on their show today where they took an embossing folder and put some ink on it. They actually used, I think they're called dots. I didn't have any of those. And the gal used her finger to put the ink on there. And that, I was kind of making along with it. And it inspired me to get out this Distress Oxide Spray. And because it's really the only thing I had. And I sprayed it and kind of blotted it on with my finger, much like the gal did in the tutorial. But then from then, I had not ever used these Distress Oxide Sprays. And I've had them for a little while, and so it prompted me to go ahead and to use them and make some cards. So I made a couple cards, which I thought turned out really, really pretty. And so I thought I should maybe make a video and kind of recreate something similar to this. So that's what I'm planning to do today, is to just kind of show you how I made these just real quickly. So what I'm going to do is get a card panel. And I've got a box here that I'll put it in, that I can spray it in so that I don't get everything all over my craft table, hopefully. And this is just a leftover Christmas present box. I save them so that I can reuse them each year, but I thought I could use it for this. So basically I'm just gonna lay my card in there. I think I'll lay it like this. And then you have to shake these really good. They've got that marble thing in the bottom to help shake it, to help mix them up. And if you see Tim Holtz, he always tells you to shake that thing up really well. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with my green, and I'm just going to kind of spritz it across the top portion of my panel. And then I think I'm going to blot a little bit because I got quite a bit on there. I think I'm just going to do a little blotting, kind of blot that a little bit. It'll also help it to dry a little bit quicker if I do that. So I've got my green on there, and then I've got my blue, and I should tell you the colors. The green is Shabby Shutters, and the blue is this Tumbled Glass. And that's what I'm using. This one's a little more shaken up because I can't hear the marble in there. So I'm just going to take my blue and just kind of spray it on there like that. And I like that. I think that looks good. And I probably maybe just blot a little bit on there too. Get some of those bigger ones off there. And then I've got this spun sugar. Somebody uses spun sugar on there. I'm just shaking it up. And I think what I'm going to do is just kind of hit this corner here. And I'm going to blot that a little bit. And then just to kind of speed things up, I'm going to pause the camera and just use my heat gun real quick and dry this. I'm going to pause the camera just so you don't have to listen to the noise. Okay, so I've got that dry now, and I used a couple different embossing folders on this. On this particular one here, sorry, I just dropped that. I used the Stylized Trellis, which is from January of 2023. I'll link it up. It's still available. And then on this one, I used the Beveled Diamonds, and it's I believe it's still available as well. So I'll link that up for you. And then on this particular one, I used the Hydrangea Blues, which is a new one from February of 2023. I think I'll go ahead and use another one, just so that we have different cards. And I'm going to use this Circle Illusions, and this is a 3D embossing folder. And so I've got this dry, and so I'm just going to lay it in there and then run it through my die cutting machine, and then come back. I'll do that off camera as well. And then we're going to do some butterflies, and we'll do some blending, and I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so I've got my panel and I love it. I just really like how that turned out. This is a 3D embossing folder called Circle Illusion, and it just really embossed really well. So I've got a real nice different kind of color texture there. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab a panel here, and I'm going to blend some of my colors so that I can do my butterflies on it. So I'm just going to grab some of my ink and my blending brushes and just kind of blend. So I'll get those and show you how I did that. Okay, so I'm going to use, I'm trying to decide whether I want to use saltwater taffy or the picked raspberry. I'm thinking I'm going to use the taffy, and I'm just going to blend. Actually, I have a different blender for this. I'm going to use this and just blend part of my paper. Maybe. There we go. I get some color on there and just kind of blend. I should be using my glass mat for this blending. Let me move this. The glass mat will just clean up a lot easier, so I need to move this to that. And I'm going to spray this self-coloring mat real quick because I do have some ink on it. So I'll just clean that off right now. Okay, just didn't want to ruin that. So this will be better working on this glass mat. I should have done that from the beginning. But anyway, I'm just going to blend some of this on here. I'm not really getting a lot. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. And this is going to be what I'm going to die cut my butterfly out of. All right, that's not getting very dark, so I'm going to go ahead and add this other color in it and see if I can get a little bit darker. Maybe it was the coral I wanted, I don't know. So I'm going to get a little bit more, some pink in there. Yeah, I think that's what and it doesn't really matter because I'm just going to die cut out of here, so I can just decide what area of my panel I like the most, and I can die cut my butterflies out there. I kind of like the colors mixed there. Okay, so that ought to give me enough room for, I'm going to use these butterfly dies that are from Spellbinder's Butterfly Sparkle Kit of the Month, August 22. So I'll have enough room to lay one of each. So I'm going to actually do 3 colors here and just run them all together so that I can do my 3 butterflies out of that. So I'm going to do the blue next. So I'll just take this distressed ink called Prize Ribbon, and I'll just blend it on there. See if I can get it blended in. And I'm going to start over here because I think it's a little bit darker than what my pink would be. Just going to kind of get it blended in there. And this would make a really, really pretty card base too. It really would. But this is what I'm going to die cut out of. I got a little bit darker there. It's a little splotchy. So, but it'll be all right. And if I overlap, I can actually have some purple in that. Okay, all right, so I'm going to use that. And then my colors are kind of limited. I think I've said this on my channel before. I don't have a lot of inks. I'm just trying to slowly build them up, but I've got this dried marigold that I'm going to use for the kind of the yellow color, and it's not exactly yellow, but it will help me to get the color that I need to kind of blend with my card base, because I wanted to do the pink, the blue, and the yellow, much like I sprayed. It'll be just a little bit different. Okay, so I've got that panel, I think, to where I can use it for my die cuts. So let me just give you an idea. I'm going to clean this off, and I'll give you an idea of how I'm going to kind of lay them out. going to get that on my card panel that I've already got ready. Just clean all that off. Okay, and so then what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to lay this on here, and then I can move it, lay it on here, and then move it and lay it on here, and I'll be able to have 3 different butterflies for my panel. So I'm just gonna go to my die cutting machine and cut these out real quick, and then we'll come back and assemble. Okay, so I've got all my die cutting done, and that panel actually allowed me to cut out a lot more than just the 3 that I wanted to use. So I'm just gonna lay that aside. And I've got them all laid out here. And this die is very intricate. It's really, really pretty. And I decided to kind of cross over the different colors instead of kind of using the singular color like I did on these, where this is all blue on a pink and all yellow on a blue and so on. I decided to, you know, have the blue and the yellow, and I think that's really pretty. So that's a little bit different than what I did the original card. So what I'm going to do is, right now I'm going to take and I'm going to cut down my panel because I want to have an edge on it all the way around is what I want to do. So I think I'm going to look at it and decide, you know, what I like and which side I want to cut off of. And I think I'm going to cut off the top of this. And I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna go to 5 and cut that off at 5. So that's a 1/2 inch there. And then I'm gonna go to 3 3/4. Actually, I'm gonna cut off this side at 3 3/4 is where I'm gonna cut my panel down to. So I've got a smaller panel. So I'm gonna do that. And then I've decided that this piece of paper here is gonna be my background for it. So I'm going to cut this at 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 is what I'm going to do on this one. So that'll be my A2 card panel size. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to bring a panel, a card base in. And I'm going to do a top folding, and I'll just grab my score buddy, and oops, I'm flinging my stuff all over the place here. Let me get organized. Okay, and I'm just going to lay this down. Let me go this way, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/2, and then I'll have my card panel. Hopefully, I'll get that lined up well. Move this aside. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my tape runner to lay my panel down. I'm going to run some tape on there. I'll bring my score buddy back in to help me line it up. It just helps me to get it straight, because I can do that crooked if I don't use my score buddy. It just helps me to, I put it in the corner, lay it in there, and then I can just lay this thing in the corner, and it just helps me to get it lined up better than I would if I didn't use it. So I may have to trim a little bit off, but it does help me to do that. So I've got that, and then I've got my panel, and I've got it cut down to where we'll have a little bit of that edge showing, and I think that's real pretty. And then I'm going to just use some of my foam tape, you know, because it gets a little, your panel gets a little flimsy from the spray and then the embossing. So I'm just going to sturdy it up by going around the perimeter of it with my foam tape. And get it all done. And then I'm going to run down one down the middle too, just to add, well, I don't have a lot left there, but I'll just lay down what I've got. I'm at the end of that. So we'll just lay that down, and then we'll just pull the backing strips off if I can get a hold of it. Sometimes I have trouble getting them started. I like to use my tool and wand to pull those off. well, I'm overlapping a little bit there, so let me get a hold of it. Okay. All right, so let me see which way my card is. Okay, it's that way. Make sure I got it right. I'm going to put my pink in the upper corner and just lay that down. I feel like I'm off a little bit. This does kind of have lines on it, so it can kind of help you a little bit to get it on there. Okay, so I've got that laid down, and I think that really looks cute in and of itself. But what we'll do is we'll get the butterflies on there, decide which ones we want to use and where we want to use them. So I think I really like them. I like these ones that have the yellow on it. And this is really, like I said, an intricate die, and you can very easily punch these little pieces out. Most of them fall out when you take them out of the die, but some of them don't, so you just have to punch them out. So I just need to decide which one of these I want to use. I like that. I think I'm going to want this one. I'll probably put that one up there maybe. And maybe put that one there. And I don't know whether I like this on here or if I would like it better with maybe that on there. I don't know, maybe there's not enough contrast there. Yeah, maybe I'll see what this one looks like. No, I need to use the yellow base. I think I'm going to go with that on there. So I think that's what I'm going to need to do. Now, one of the things that I didn't do is cut out my little butterfly body. So I need to do that real quick, and then we'll assemble these butterflies, get them laid down, and we'll put our cinnamon on there, which I'm going to do Sending Love is what I'm going to put on this. It'll be a little bit different than the other. And I'm going to use our paper. So while I'm die cutting out the body to the butterflies, I'm going to die cut out. I've got 2 of these in white already that I'm going to stack. So I'll stack these, but then I need to cut it out in this pattern for it as well. So I'll do that. I'll do the bodies and I'll use the Sending Love and die cut that out, and then we'll lay that down. Okay, so I went ahead and die cut out my little butterfly bodies, and to save time I went ahead and stacked the 2 white Sending Loves that I had, stacked them up and glued them. Looks like I could have done maybe a little bit better job on the love, but anyway, so let's go ahead and get our butterflies assembled and get them laid down on our card, and then we'll put our cinnamon down. So basically what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue right there and set them down. Let's see if I can get them to stick. And I want to kind of raise my butterflies up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my butterfly body with my tweezers, if I can get a hold of it, turn it over and put some glue on there. Try to get it to where it'll glue down. And just push it down, set it aside and let it dry. Go on to my next one. Clean up my glue so I don't make a mess on my card. Very simple. Set it down. Get my next little butterfly body and get some glue on it. Get it glued down. Oops, gotta line that up better. There we go. Whoops, it's coming off. Get back there. My fingers are getting kind of glued up, so. All right, we'll just set that aside and let that dry. I think we decided to go with these. Oh, actually I'm gonna glue this one down. I think I'm going with the other one, but I'm going to go ahead and assemble this since I'm working on it. I did cut out enough bodies for all of my butterflies. So I'm gonna assemble them all, but just lay that one aside. This is the other one for the card. I wanted that yellow back because it's got yellow on my card base. So I wanted to have that yellow backing one. Lay that down. Oops, maybe. Like I said, I got a lot of glue on my fingers, so what do I do with that baby wipe? I'm just gonna clean my fingers off. And then get my butterfly body. it set down. Just let those lay aside. Now I'll go ahead and clean the glue off of my tweezers. Terrible. Okay. Pick up my sending, and I'm just going to put the glue on the back of it so that I can layer it on top of my 2 white sendings, just so I'll have a little bit of dimension. I've got a lot of dimension on the card with the 3D embossing folder already, but I just wanted these to be a little bit more sturdy and kind of pop up a little bit more. So just laying the glue on, and then I'm just going to lay it on top here. Try and get it lined up. Not doing a very good job here. Let me lift that up. So just get it all lined up where it belongs. Ah. This may be the worst job I've ever done lining up. Let's get it where it needs to go before it dries. Okay. Let's try and get it all lined up. Oh, goodness. Sometimes they just lay down with the greatest of ease, and then this one seems to be more of a challenge for me tonight. I don't know why. Okay, well, that'll work. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Okay, and then let's see if we can do this one a little bit better. Let me just lay it on here. Let's see if I can get that laid down a little bit better than the other one. Jiminy, that other one was on the struggle bus. Guess I should have done it that way to begin with. That was much easier. Okay, so I'll just line that up, get my E lined up, press them together. That'll be good. Kind of lay that on there how I want it. I think I probably need it more on the, maybe more on this area so that it'll pop a little bit. So I'm just going to move it, and that'll change likely how we're going to do our butterflies, but I think I'm going to do it like that, and it'll be a little bit different. So I'm thinking we'll just put our 2 butterflies down here like this, and then this one up like this. So I think that's how we'll go with it, and that'll look really pretty. So I'll go ahead and I'm just going to glue it down. Yeah, I'm just going to glue it. I'm not going to use any additional adhesive or pop up, and I'll just kind of lay it down. I think I'm going to go this way with this one. Just kind of lay down the underneath and flip the top up. Do the same on all 3. Lay that part down and kind of flip up the butterfly part. Got a little bit of glue on there, wipe that off. And then I think I'm going to put that one there. Getting some glue on there. Laying it down. Okay, now we got to lay our sentiment down, and hopefully I've left the room that I need for that. I'm going to do it like that. Sending love. I think I moved it a little bit when I decided to turn that one butterfly, but I think it'll be okay. So we, I think, are going to get some snow tonight. Not looking forward to that at all. We're going to change our clocks, so we're going to lose an hour of sleep, and then we're going to wake up to snow. I guess it's supposed to start snowing at 1 o'clock in the morning and maybe continue snowing through 5 a.m. or something like that. So I'm not looking forward to that. But we have had some really nice weather, and I'm thankful for that because it is March, and March is a wild card in Indiana. So we shall see. I was going to look for my acrylic block to sit on that, but I'm not seeing it readily available. So I'm just going to lay that aside, but and let that dry. Actually, before I do that, I like to take the little leftover strip, the small strip that I have. I use the bigger strip to die cut out the sending love. I like to put it on the inside of the card just to add something to the inside of the card to tie the outside in. So I'll just take that and I'm just going to lay it across there like that. Try and get it straight, lay it down. And then I'll just take my scissors and clip that extra off of it. So I'll just clip that off. And then we'll have that on the inside of our card to kind of tie them in. So that's my card. I think it's super cute. Now, as I was looking at this panel that I took off of there, I thought, gosh, that could be used for a card if I get it laid down just right. So I'm gonna try and do something with that. I don't know if I'll have success, but I thought it'd be fun to try to do something with that and not waste that ink blended panel that I have. So what I'm gonna do is I've got another top folding card here, and I thought I would just try to lay it down on there. So I'm gonna score this at, let me get all this stuff out of the way, move this. Try not to tear up my panel that I wanna use. It is a little flimsy because I did cut as many of those as possible out of it. But I'm just gonna score this, fold it over. And then I had a couple of different ideas, and I'll just show you my thought process. I had first thought that I would lay this Spellbinders paper, which is real pretty, down, and then lay this on top of it very simply, and maybe lay some of these butterflies on top of it, is what I had first thought that I might do. And I was thinking that I would cover up kind of the blemishes on there. But then I saw this pattern here that I had a pattern paper, and I thought about laying it on that and giving it quite a bit more color to it. So I'm not sure. I'm still trying to decide. And then I could maybe just lay these on there without the backs. And do that, is what I might do. That's what I was thinking. But I was thinking I want to use this panel. And I think maybe I might turn it this way and use it. So I don't know if this will be very doable, if it'll work, or what. So I just need to decide. I think I want to go with just a little jazzier, with the jazzier paper. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this down to, let me see, this is the same size as that. So I'm just gonna cut this down to the size that my card base is. So I'll get my paper trimmer and just trim it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Get that out of the way so I don't mess that up. I'm kind of working on limited space here. Move this out of the way. I've got this upside down, so turn it around. Yeah, okay, so we've got 4 1/4. Get that lined up right. And then we've got this extra piece, and then we've got by 5 1/2. I think I want to go the other way. It looks like there's a little white edge on this right here that I want to cut away. Okay, and that'll be the bottom of our card. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is, this is pretty flimsy. I'm going to try, I don't know if this will work. I was thinking if I could try and line it up and maybe just run my tape runner over it and see if I can give it, well, maybe not, that might not work. Okay, I think we'll just be better off. Okay, so let's go ahead and just lay our panel down, and then we'll just try and lay that down and see what happens. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to give you a little bit more room here to see. Just thinking if I can use that panel, it might be kind of fun to use that panel and not have that ink blending go to waste. So I don't know. It's interesting, you can see these little confetti marks on the back side of that paper. I think it's probably where the foil is on there. Just gonna lay that down. And now what I'm gonna attempt to do, very carefully, maybe I just need to use the glue and just kind of glue it down. I've never done this with a scrap piece, but I thought it might be fun to try and use it. I don't know if it'll work, but I thought it would be fun to try and use that. Now, I was thinking that I wanted it to go in this direction. So I'm gonna just try and get it lined up as best I can. I'm not sure if I can get it or not. Let's try and get it lined up. And it's not gonna be completely whole because some of it got die cut away, like here. So I'm gonna try and get some glue on this and get this laid down. I'll probably have to wipe away any extra glue that I get on there. Yeah, I've got some glue on there. So I'm gonna move this out so I don't make a mess. Let me clean off my desk. Get that glue off of there. Okay, looks like I got a little bit of glue on there too. So I think I've got that laid down fairly well. It's not bad. I think I got enough glue on it. So that's kind of cute. I think that's kind of cute. I mean, it wasn't, you know, I hadn't originally planned. Now I was trying to decide, do I want to lay it down with the back of the butterfly on there? Maybe I do. And I think that I need to die cut out another back. And I'm not sure if I have any of that blended paper left that I could die cut that out of. Let me see what I've got here. Funny, it's laying here. So I think I can only go with the two, unless I want to do one without a back on it. And I might just do that. I could do that up here or down here, maybe up there. All right, let's go ahead and assemble this one. The only reason why I'm thinking is they say you should have threes or odd numbers of everything on that it's more pleasing to the eye if you have threes. That's what they always say, but I really only have 2 full butterflies from this. I didn't even have any blending left from those other panels because I already took my trash out, and so it got thrown away. So the other panels that I sprayed, I don't have anything left from them either. So, okay. Let's just put this on there without the back and see what it looks like, and then that'll help me decide if I want to use it or not. If I can get it to lay down. Again, my fingers are getting all glued up. So that's what it would look like. So maybe we could do that up there. And I want that one to be there because I want it to cover up that blotchy spot that I did on my blending. And then maybe that one needs to go there because we've kind of got a little mistake on our ink as well. So this could look cute down here too, but I feel like I need it up there. Let me see what I can do here. Yep. Yeah, that needs to go there and that needs to go there. I think that's how I'll do it, just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this down. And this is kind of fun because you know, otherwise I would have thrown this panel out. And I see now that I've set this down that I've got some that I need to poke out here. And those are all out. And then we'll just lay these down where we want them. Lift the wings a little bit. then lay that down where we want it. I like that. Now, I'm going to take the extra, like I did the other, lift this up and lay it down on the inside. And that'll be on my inside. And then I want some kind of a sentiment or something on the outside for this card. So I'm going to look and see what I've got, and we'll get something on. Okay, and since this one had kind of the gold sparkles in the confetti, I decided to use some of Spellbinder's gold metallic and use the die and cut out hello for this card. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to lay that one right on there as is. Well, let me see. I might have some hellos that I could lift it up. No, I don't. I think I'm just going to lay it right down on there and just lay that hello right on there. So I'm going to just put my glue on the back. And you can see from the back of these that my plates from my die cutting machine have been well used, and they're kind of making lines in the back of this, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to see that. So I'm just going to lay that down right there on my card. Blot up some of the glue. And that is going to be my card that I made with the remnants from the die cut. So I made this one and this one, and I used the butterfly sparkle die from Spellbinders. It's for August of 22 for the butterflies. And then I use, this is going to be hard to see because I don't have, I'm just putting this away. I don't have these, I've got the Spellbinder Simply Perfect Mix and Match sentiments that I got in my super surprise box earlier this month. And I used that for my sentiments. And I used all of that for all 5 of these cards. And I used the Distress Oxide Sprays, Tumble Glass, Shabby Shutters, and Spun Sugar to create these. And I think they're fabulous. So I've got Happy Birthday, a couple thank yous, a sending love, and a hello. So give me a thumbs up if you like them. I think they're super fun. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and they're going to be a nice addition to my collection of cards to have available when me and my family need to send cards out. So thanks for watching, and please give me a like. It really helps my channel, and consider subscribing if you like what you see. Bye.